Here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go. You can pass those down.
Absolutely.
Free note cards. Cool. All right. So, imagine walking down a busy street in San Sebastian or Bilbao, right? These are cities in the north of Spain, so you suspect these signs that have Spanish on them, right? Well, you'd be wrong. They have this language that doesn't seem to resemble any kind of connection to Spanish, German, French, or English at all. This language is the language of the Basque country, called Euskara. Now, this language is a living cultural artifact, and it defines what it means to be Basque in this modern world. This language is ancient, has no living roots, and because it thrives today, it shows its importance and how it persists and how it is unique in this world that's becoming more homogenous and globalized. I studied abroad in Spain, and I went to the Basque country myself. And I saw this firsthand, and that grew my curiosity. It led me to explore this subject. So today, we're going to look at how this language shapes Basque culture and its history. So we'll look at its ancient roots, we'll look at how it survived political oppression, and then we'll look at how it still thrives today. So let's first look at the origins of this ancient language. Oh, and by the way, right there is a sign from the first thing I was discussing. You can see all the, looks confusing, yes. All right, so this language is classified as a language isolate, which means it has no root, like Indo-European root, or any other root for that matter. So Spanish and French have that Latin background. Basque has no background, none that we know of at least. And a lot of this is because of the geography of the Basque region, right? So if you look at the second image on your map right there, you can see the little highlighted area where the Basque region is. You have the Bay of Biscay up top, right? So it isolates them from the north. And then from the south, you can see there is the Pyrenees Mountains. So these people were completely holden and had very limited influence from the outside world. The Romans came at one point and had military sort of conduct with them, but never fully got them to assimilate to Latin. So there's no real influence there. Now, according to Encyclopedia Britannica, scientist Hugo Schuchert sort of surmised that there was actually a lot of similarities between sort of Northern African languages and Basque. But this is later found to be disproved, as looking at ancient Basque texts, it looks like similar, but there's no actual true roots that go back to it, right? Now, we're going to look at, now that we've seen sort of the uniqueness of this language, we're going to take a look at how that uniqueness sort of was a fault in the 20th century, right? So in the 20th century, we got Franco, right, who ruled Spain, and he wished to have a unified Spanish language, and Basque stood in the way of that, a unified identity. So he went, and not only did he bomb a lot of Basque like cities and villages, but he also went and sort of destroyed that unified Basque identity. So he outlawed the language in schools, he outlawed it to be taught in public, at home, in signs, any of that. But this simply sparked more sort of backlash and more resistance. Speaking Basque became a symbol of resistance to Franco's oppression, right? And families would enroll their kids in private schools to learn Basque, and they'd speak it behind closed doors. And the third image you see on there is actually a painting by Pablo Picasso. It's based off of, it's called Guernica, and it's based off of a bombing that Franco did of a Basque village, right? So this is sort of a picture of resistance of the Basque people, both their language and their culture, right? That's where that image comes from. Now, after all this oppression with Franco, right, seeing all this, we'll now see the sort of cultural resurgence of the Basque language. Once Spain returned to democracy, right, after Franco's death, you saw this massive increase in language speakers speaking this language because they had been oppressed and they had been withheld this language, and now they're all very motivated and fired up, right? So according to a study by the University of Basque Country, the speaking population in the last 25 years grew by 223,000 for that. And in some regions, more than 10% of speakers now speak Basque, right? Which is pretty significant considering it's a very ancient language and there's millions of people in these regions. Now, to make this happen, a couple of things had to happen. The first was that they sort of created a uniform Basque language system, right? They standardized it like we have the Oxford Dictionary. They had a Basque sort of dictionary. And the second thing is that a lot of the Basque culture that has evolved now comes from this idea of borders, right? That Basque has no actually solid border, the Basque country. It's rather sort of wherever the language is spoken, that's where Basque country is, right? That's what that actually translates to. The Basque country translates to land of the Basque speakers. So that just shows how intrinsically tied the language is to the actual region, right? So today we explored the Basque culture and via its language, through its origins, its survival, through fascism, and then its resurgence. And it's not, as you can see now, it's not just sort of a collection of words, it really is a symbol of persistence among a population, right? There's this old Basque proverb I'll share. It says that a language is not lost because those who do not know it fail to learn it, but that because those who know it fail to speak it. Now the Basque people have chosen to speak it, so this language will not be disappearing anytime soon.